Good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back here today for another battle of the bands. The bands today: Golden Earring, Seven Tears, Blue Murder, self-titled album. This is battle number 24 on March the 24th. This is the last battle of the second round. Sorry, not first round, second round. Pretty interesting battle. A little bit odd though, because both these albums I enjoyed less this time than I did the first time. And I'm not really off or anything. For some reason, I just didn't like them as much as I did the first round. The Blue Murder album will go first, since it was the one that he put in first in the position. Blue Murder, self-titled. This is from 1989. It's got that kind of, it's got some Whitesnake sound to it. Definitely has the guitar sound from Whitesnake, understandably, since John Sykes was the main guitar player on that album. His vocals are good, better than I would have thought. I didn't know that he was the singer until I heard this. Pretty much even though. The album is pretty much passable, but nothing great. The only thing about his album that I like better than I had with the Whitesnake is that he has different openings in all of his songs. Kind of a synthesizer opening, keyboard bit at the beginning of Riot, which is the first song. A bit of a heavy guitar riff on Sex Child, but also has some keys in there as well. You got a drum key bit in the third song. You got a guitar solo, a very good guitar solo in the next song, but it opens with that kind of acoustic guitar bit. You have a kind of heavy drum opening with a heavy guitar riff. Then you get the sixth song, which Out of Love, which is kind of a ballad. So you got your kind of a ballad song here. Well, maybe more of a power pop song, I guess. That to me, or a power ballad, maybe that's what you want to call it. And Ptolemy, which starts with that kind of flute keyboard part at the beginning. This song has a little bit of prog in it, and it's probably my favorite track on the album. Black-Hearted Woman, heavy guitar, catchy, fast-paced, and then some very slow shredding guitar. Very solo shredding guitar parts. Okay, so overall, I found the album pretty good. It's pretty standard for the 1980s album. I think his vocals are good. I think his guitar ability is good. He doesn't play enough guitar though. If you're going to be a guitar player like him, you got to shred and really do your thing to really capture the attention of the album, like Frank Marino did on his album. Is John Sykes as good as Frank Marino? I think he might be, but he's not really demonstrating it overly on this particular album. He does do some good stuff on here. I just don't think it's dominating like it probably should be. Overall, it's a pretty okay album. I don't think it's anything special, but it was okay. The Golden Earring album I had great expectations for because I really enjoyed it in the first round. The album's called Seven Tears from 1971, so there's a bit of a gap here in years between the two albums, but this album pretty strong, lots of acoustic bits on it, lots of heavy guitar parts, lots of different kind of sounds on here. It's very kind of I wouldn't say it's very psychedelic. It does have psychedelic parts in it in different songs, a little bits in here, and it does give me that psychedelic feel at times as well. Does have a kind of some bluesy stuff in here as well. The first song is probably my favorite song on either album, Silver Ships. This has an acoustic bit for opening, and then some very, the vocals are very quiet but forward at the same time, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but they're really good. The song is somewhat psychedelic, I think. And there's a heavy riff, I like that riff that he does here quite a bit too. So it's a pretty solid overall good song, I think, with lots of catchiness to it. The next song is I can't can't read what I wrote. Anyways, the second song is, I think, the road swallowed her name. I'm thinking it says reed, but it says road. Road swallowed her name. This is a heavy track, some quiet parts, but pretty much really kind of heavy. His voice is more raspy in this song as well. I like this song quite a bit too. I actually like the front half of the Golden Earring album quite a lot. The back half, not so much. The third song, a quiet, melancholy kind of guitar and vocal part. I found it kind of catchy. The melancholy part was kind of catchy. Heavy at times, but for the most part, it's kind of a melancholy, melodic song. Yeah, so yeah, I like that one quite a bit too. And then the last song, probably on the first side, I think that's how it worked, but I might be wrong because this is the album sides, right? Yeah, some catchy spots on that too, but not the great song. The back three songs I didn't care for as much. They did have some more psychedelia to them than maybe the front half did. Especially that This Is the Other Side of Life. Nice bass opening with it, nice drums and keyboards on it, and some really kind of psychedelic parts to the guitar, I thought, and to the vocals as well. So, but I, for some reason, didn't warm up to the song as much as I did the first time I heard it. The last track, kind of bluesy, really bluesy guitar, bluesy vocals, heavy at times, heavy on the solos, heavy on the drums, heavy on the guitar solos. Yeah, pretty strong at the end. But again, a song I didn't warm up to as much as I did the first time. But even though they didn't have the greatest round Golden Earring here, they still won it fairly easily. I wouldn't say it was a landslide by any stretch, but definitely they were the stronger of the two albums for my liking. And so the Golden Earring will go on to round number 2. And Blue Murder, of course, will be out of the tournament, but I gave it a good shot, I think. Pretty good shot here. So for going forward now, we have our 8 bands going into round 3, or for those of you who like the term quarterfinals, they're going into the quarterfinals. It'd be battle round number 3. And I'm sure that once Ben gets to listen to it and see which I chose, he will set up some competition. I think he did a good job setting him up there. I felt almost like he put what he thought were the stronger albums against what he thought were the weaker albums to get rid of all of the weaker albums, so that now we only have strong albums left going into the third round. That, I don't know if that's what happened or whether that was his plan or not, but that seemed to me, it seems to have been that way. It wasn't really only, I think, the one major battle between Buzzy Duck and Frigid Pink, which was a tough one. I really felt either of those bands should have won that. But anyways, all said and done, round 3, or round 2 is now over. Round 3 will now commence. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night.